However, something really big happened at the start of the year that we mentioned at the outset, and that is Trump took office and made it very clear that he was going to come very heavy-handed with tariffs, with trade policy, where he wants to reverse this course. He wants the U.S. to be the major exporter to the world, and the rest of the world to consume the goods that the U.S. are going to be making. And this changes the dynamic, and this is kind of the Mosler hypothesis here, that this dynamic is reverting, and now the central banks have nothing to target. There's no USD there to target, to export to, because the president decided, we don't want this. We don't want your stuff. We want to be making this stuff for you. We want your money for our stuff, not the other way around, that we're the ones apparently getting ripped off in that scenario, and they're the ones that are benefiting. He wants to reverse that. Whatever your take is, it doesn't matter. That's what's happening, and it's the underlying dynamics that are the concern. Why? Because when other central banks have supported the dollar, it has created, in a real sense, a benefit for the U.S. because the dollar was essentially stronger than it would have been had other central banks not been trying to do this. And now there's going to be, not in nominal sense, but in a real sense, damage to the spending and credit creation in terms of what it can buy, because the dollar is going to go lower when these new dollars are going to be created. And so since there is no more targeting the USD to favor exports, you're going to get a collapse of the most important spending that supports the macro structure. You're going to get a collapse of the real deficit spending. And we've seen this in the past play out. We saw this, say, in 91 with the oil shock. We saw this 2 times play out in the 70s when we had major inflation, that even though technically we were still running deficits, in a real sense, inflation adjusted, we were not spending enough to offset the demand for new dollars, and then ultimately you get that collapse.